morning, dear hearts. We are on lesson 19. Please subscribe. Now, I'm going to say something I hardly ever say. Today's lesson expands on yesterday's lesson, right? Hardly say that at all, but it's true. Sometimes it's more obvious than others. I think this one's pretty obvious. Today's lesson, I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. From yesterday's, I'm not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. Consequently, because these two lessons are so cohesive and intertwined, you're going to hear me say some things I said yesterday, and that's okay. The course in and of itself is repetitive. I've said that before, and it is in that repetition how we learn, because remember, we are undoing the ego mind. So the repetition is actually very helpful for us to do that. The lesson begins. The idea for today is obviously the reason why your seeing does not affect you alone. From yesterday, you will notice that at times the ideas related to thinking precede those related to perceiving, while at other times the order is reversed. In other words, sometimes I'm going to argue with you, no, I saw it before I thought it. This lesson says the reason is that the order actually doesn't matter. Thinking and its results are really simultaneous. When I said yesterday that even the most skilled surgeon would not be able to separate the thought from the seeing with the best scalpel or laser, because cause and effect are never separate. Cause and effect are always together. They happen for us. The experience is that they are simultaneous. It's like bam, and there it is. So I can't say which actually happened first. The Course tells us that it is really, in truth, it's always the thought. But when they happen so quickly, we're not going to be able to really tell. And in truth, it doesn't really matter. The fact is that our minds are joined. So this is again why we are emphasizing that I'm not alone at experiencing the effects of my thoughts, is the same reason I was not alone at experiencing the effects of my seeing. Our minds are joined. Not always a welcome thought. I think we've said that also. The lesson goes on to say that it might be regarded as an invasion of privacy, yet it is a fact that there are no private thoughts. How can there be a private thought when our minds are indeed joined together as one in the sonship? One mind, one heart. Thank you, Bob Marley. Yes, we have one mind. So far this year, up until lesson 19, we have realized that we have no idle thoughts, because every thought makes or creates on some level. We have no neutral thoughts, because there's always a judgment associated with my thoughts that will give me the reason to make or create something, to judge it. Now I'm finding out I don't have any private thoughts. Again, my mind is joined with yours and with everyone else's. My thoughts are not idle, they're not neutral, and they're not private. But that's all right, because we are of one mind. And ultimately, we will realize we're truly of one heart as well. The practicing for today is done with eyes closed. And again, we're searching our mind, looking for those thoughts. Whatever comes to us, again, over 60,000. Some are going to show up. And whatever that first one is, as it says, as you consider each one, name it in terms of the central person or the theme, whatever it happens to be, and hold it in your mind. And as you do so, say, I am not alone in experiencing the effects of this thought about fill in the blank. It can be a person. It can be someone famous. It can be the idea of death. It can be the idea of war. It can be the idea of illness. It can be the idea of peace. Whatever it is, I'm not alone in experiencing the effects of how I think about it, because we are of one mind. The lesson goes on to talk about the idea of being indiscriminate and not to focus on any one specific thing. We want there to be no level of thoughts coming to us. Now, it says in paragraph 4, it tells us, lack of order in this connection will ultimately make the recognition of lack of order in miracles meaningful to you. The very first principle of A Course in Miracles, the first part of the text says, there is no order of difficulty in miracles. One is not harder or bigger than another. They are all the same. And all expressions of love are maximal. We get the maximum out of every expression of love. So we can go back to that song of one heart, one mind, one heart, and realize that that is where we want to go. We want to be of that one mind, and that one mind is to be peaceful. That one mind is to be whole and complete. And that one mind is where we are heading. That is our goal, to be of that one mind. So I'm not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. That's it for today. I hope it helped. Please like, please share, please subscribe, please comment, please pray. Pray for the one mind. Pray for the awareness of our one mind. It's a beautiful place for us to be. Have a lovely day. Namaste.